By the way, do you feel more powerful in the last 2 hours than you did before you came in here? Because that's what this is all about. Right? It's about empowerment. That's what longevity does. We're about the individual, about making the individual more powerful. So let me just say something very interesting about blood sugar that you need to understand, and also about nutrition in general. See, the body has two kinds of, and in the world of chemistry, in biology and molecules, there's two kinds. There's fatty ones and there's watery ones. Okay, we call them, in science and chemistry, we call them hydrophilic and lipophilic. Everybody hear those terms? Hydrophilic means love, phila means love, phila is Latin for love. Hydrophilic is water-loving, lipophilic is fat-loving. The lipophilic stuff sticks. It's like peanut butter and jelly. You have peanut butter and jelly in your sink, right? Or in your fork or in your knife. Which is going to rinse off and which is going to stick? The peanut butter will stick to the knife, right? And the jelly will rinse off, correct. The jelly is hydrophilic. It's water-soluble. The peanut butter is lipophilic. It's fat-soluble. In the body, there's chemistry that goes on that's lipophilic, and this is sticky chemistry. In fact, toxicity and storage of toxins are all associated with the stickiness of the fatty system. The fatty system has a magnetic sticky quality, like glue. Things stick to it. So fatty vitamins, fatty nutrients, your body will hold on to those. So if you don't take them every day or you miss them, you're not going to notice that you're missing the fatty nutrients. You'll notice in the long term, but not in the short term. On the other hand, the watery nutrients are electrical. Sparks. Remember how they tell you when your kid to get out of the pool, or they still probably still say, right, get out of the pool when lightning comes? Why? Because there's minerals, there's chlorine, and there's different particles in the water, and water, the combination of water and minerals conducts electricity. In fact, in the body, we call these minerals that are hanging around in water and conducting electricity, we have a special name for them. We call them electrolytes. Exactly. The electrolytes conduct electrical energy, and then there's also vitamins, especially the B complex, which we should talk about sometime. I'd love to talk about that on the phone. The B complex, very underappreciated, but the B complex gives cells electrical energy, and the B complex is also water soluble. We have a hidden disaster that nobody's telling you about, that you're going to hear for the first time today, probably for many of you, unless you've heard it before. And you're going to realize one of the major reasons why we're not as healthy as we should be. Your electrical nutrients, your B complex, and your electrolytes, potassium and calcium and sodium and magnesium, etc., you've heard them all. Your electrical elements are water soluble, which means every time you urinate, you lose your electrical nutrients. Which means if you're not replacing your electrical nutrients every time you go to the bathroom, you are guaranteed to be running on low electrical nutrients. And something as simple as that can be behind massive states of biological dysfunction, because every system in the body uses this electrical energy. How about if you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? How about if you go to the bathroom twice in the middle of the night? And then you wake up in the morning. Of course you're going to feel like crap. Even if you had 8 hours of sleep. You're all deficient in your vitamins. And these vitamins that give electrical energy also help the body process sugar. So we're running our days, for the most part, the vast majority of people, on low levels, deficient levels of our most important electrical nutrients, the B vitamins and the electrolytes. So replacing the B vitamins and electrolytes are important for everything, especially sugar and especially high energy systems like the digestive system. In fact, for many people, if not most people, once they start supplementing with a liquid B complex and a liquid electrolyte, they notice results pretty darn quickly. Anybody hear something called Beyond Tangy Tangerine? That's what Beyond Tangy Tangerine is. If you listen to Brightside, I'm saying it all day long. And I'm a pharmacist, I'm a formulator. I've been formulating for a long time. I know a good formulation. And when I tell people to take the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, it's because I know that they're going to notice results quickly. And if you're doing longevity, it becomes an amazing longevity product. It becomes an amazing business building product. You should always have Beyond Tangy Tangerine with you. First of all, whether you do your business or not, you're going to be helping improve somebody's health, even if it's just for a couple of moments. There's hardly anybody who has not been supplementing who's not going to notice the difference. If you've already been supplementing, it may not be as significant for you, but for most people who haven't tried it, they're going to be blown away. They're going to say that stuff's amazing. And why? It's because it is. It's packed with your water-soluble nutrients, which, by the way, is why you want to sip on it all day long. So, between caloric restriction, intermittent fasting, more protein, dithymoglutamine, glutamine is found in whey protein, it's an amino acid for suppressing the appetite. Using braised and steamed vegetables to get sugars out of it. Strategies for getting your sugar fix without having sugar in combination with using sugar metabolizing nutrients like the B complex. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine and also the chromium and vanadium, the sweeties. You guys know what I'm talking about? The sweeties product, it's chromium and vanadium. In fact, the B vitamins, chromium, vanadium, and magnesium, probably missing one or two, but those are 4 of the most important for stabilizing your blood sugar. And then in addition to that, making sure you're doing the intermittent fasting and the caloric restriction. That's your first 2 points. Your last point is the simplest and the easiest and the one that you'll notice the results the quickest, and that is to quiet down the adrenal system. This is especially important as we get older and the adrenal glands pick up more and more of the job of making growth hormones. Something very interesting happens as we get older, and that is our growth hormones, our anabolic building hormones, start to become manufactured, not in the reproductive glands, not in the testes as much, and not in the ovaries, not in the ovaries at all as a woman goes into menopause, and it's the stress glands that pick up the slack. So that as we get older, if our adrenal glands are off taking care of emergencies, they ain't going to be making youth hormone. Anybody hear something called low T? This is what low T is about. This is what women go through after menopause. The adrenal glands, which are supposed to pick up the slack, you guys understand what I'm saying? They're supposed to make your hormones, your youth hormones, after your reproductive glands dry up as we get older, or they start to become more sluggish. What's supposed to happen is now the stress glands, the adrenal glands, are supposed to pick up the slack. So once you start to give this, put less stress in the body, so the adrenal glands don't have to make stress hormones, they'll be able to make more healing hormones, more youth hormones, more anti-wrinkle hormones, more skin softening hormones, more libido-inducing hormones, more creative hormones, more muscle-building hormones. You follow what I'm saying? Once you can quiet down the adrenal glands. Now, luckily, if you've done the first 2 points of the triangle, that's going to help a lot. Once you've corrected the digestive system using all the strategies we just talked about and the blood sugar system, you're going to do a lot to start to calm down the adrenal glands, but you can still do more. And that's where activating the safety system comes in. First thing is to practice deep breathing. If you have a smartphone, get something called My Calm Beat or bio breathing. These are applications you can just look at, and it'll guide you through the breathing process. You always want to breathe slowly, and interestingly enough, the relaxation response occurs on your exhale, not on your inhale. In fact, you'll notice that if you're scared or surprised, you go like this, right? That is a manifestation of an activated emergency nervous system.
What was that second half?
My Calm Beat and bio breathing. So when you go like this, that's an activation of the stress nervous system. That means you're getting ready for an emergency response. But if you go like this, when you find out it's all a joke, you've now activated the parasympathetic nervous system. So wherever you can, whenever you find something that makes you go, do that. Okay? Anytime you feel like going, so wouldn't you feel like you put your foot in a nice hot bath, right? Right? You know, I don't know if I'm sure you guys noticed this. This is a common issue. Remember when Ebola, whatever happened to Ebola, by the way? Right? Ebola, right? So Ebola wasn't, I think Dallas was like a big thing, wasn't it? Okay, so anyway, so here's the thing. Ebola, they had an Ebola czar. They were talking about it. Did they ever do it? Ebola czar. What they were talking about is we don't need Ebola czar. We need a constipation czar. That's what I'm thinking. Because that's really the problem. We're clogged. We're constipated. One of the things about constipation, and it is an epidemic, I mean, it sounds funny, but it's serious. It's a very serious problem. But the thing about constipation is it's a classic sign of a body in distress. It's not just feel like you're in distress. You are. Your body is operating its distress response. And when you're on the john, and I'm just going to be frank here, you know, the worst thing you can do is go, What you're supposed to do is go, which you'll do ultimately anyway. And it's not telling you. You know what I'm saying? So anytime, and this is a great way though that you can see your body respond. You know, if you just go, right now, you know, you may know it intuitively, but if you're actually on the john, you can actually feel everything open up as you exhale. You will actually notice your body's response to your behaviors in the most intimate of ways. And that's where the power comes from. You see, we've become so disassociated from our bodies. That really is the problem. We don't even know we have our bodies. We live in our heads. I forgot to tell you, one of the coolest ways to lose weight, to do this appetite suppressant and intermittent fasting that I was telling you about, is to learn about this thing or how to master this thing called attention. And attention, you think you know what it is, but it really is very fascinating. People study attention a lot of psychology, cognitive behavior, and cognitive scientists study this thing called attention. And attention is this thing that's like a spotlight. I always think of like one of those old lighthouses. It goes like this, and it's always scouting for something. It's always looking for something, and we need to learn how to control our attention. See, we get our attention pulled by shiny things, you know, by things that sparkle our attention. We're like fish, and we're swimming in the ocean, and whatever is hanging, we bite. So we got to learn how to control that attention. See, marketers know how to control your attention. They study. They got PhDs as smart as people in the world studying how to control your attention. They know how to do it with brainwaves, they know how to do it with smells, they know how to do it with words, they know how to do it with everything. But it's our attention at the end of the day. So you got to watch out how you spend your attention, or should I say how we pay attention. See, it's a commodity. Our attention is a commodity. Until now, we haven't been told it's a commodity. I don't want you to know it's a commodity, because we're paying them. We're paying them attention. So when the food commercial comes on, keep your attention in your pocket. Keep your attention in your wallet, in your attention wallet. And what you do is you learn how to move your attention around. What you'll find when you're hungry, how are you guys hungry? Okay, you're not admitting to it. I know you're hungry. Yeah, what do you do? So next time you're hungry, there's a brave soul back there. All right? Notice where you're hungry from. And for the most part, you'll find your attention is in your head, or it's in this little tiny, maybe half-inch piece of tissue on the top of your tongue. That's where our attention goes when we think we're hungry for the most part. Now when you're really hungry, you will be able to feel it in your belly. That's where you're really hungry. If you're looking at the menu and you're going, well, I don't know what I want. You go to like Africa or somewhere, a kid hasn't eaten for 3 weeks, and you say, I don't know what I want. You know, I wonder, I just don't feel like that. No, I don't think I'll have that. You ain't hungry. Okay? Hunger is from the belly, so you learn to move your attention around. And you'll notice, if you want to, you have to be willing, you have to want to, because if you don't, it's automatic, it'll go right back to the head, it's conditioned. But if you really want to diet, or you want to do intermittent fasting, or you want to get over your inflammatory disease or whatever, learn to move your attention. And what you'll notice is the next time you're hungry, put your attention in your stomach and check in. And see if you're really hungry in your stomach. And if you're really serious, you'll notice that you're not. And if you are hungry, what you'll notice is that it only takes 2 bites for you not to be hungry. That's all it takes. Now, I'm not a food Nazi, I'm telling you. I'm not here to preach about food. I'm just saying that these are options. These are control points that we have ourselves. We can correct our digestive issues. We can control our blood sugar. We can get on a nutritional supplement program. We can encourage ourselves and our family and our friends to become intimate with a culture of health, a culture of nutrition, a culture of strength, a culture of healing, a culture of wellness, a culture of love, a culture of joy, a culture of everything we're supposed to have. It is not supposed to be that we rot. It is not programmed that way. This has artificially been induced in us. And it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. On the one hand, because I see the suffering and the struggling, and on the other hand, I see the changes that can be made. I see them in this room. And I see it over and over and over and over again. It is the testimony of the body to heal itself every bit as much as the testimony of your finger or the paper cut on your thumb to heal itself. And please understand, if you were dealing with a degenerative disease crisis, and I know how awful that is, I know personally, I've seen it over and over and over again. If that is you, or you know somebody who is, begin to take these steps. Even something as just taking a day off from food. Something as simple as doing a food diet. Something as simple as getting on the bioluminite, the essence, or probiotics from fermented food. Something as simple as deep breathing. Something as simple as getting on a Healthy Start Pak. Just take a step. Just begin. And it will prove itself. And it can't help but be that way because it's built into the body to heal. It's built into the body to be strong. It's built into all of us to live to 120 to 140, maybe even longer, and not to rot on the way there. So if you like this message, go see your longevity rep, whoever brought you here. Talk to anybody you want who's been involved with the program. I'm available whenever phone calls or through my radio show. Listen to The Bright Side. Check out my blog. Begin to participate. And if you're healthy, praise God you're healthy. You want to stay that way. And you want to become a beacon for other people to be healthy as well. And by the way, if you benefited from this, and I know many of you have benefited from this, share it. If you don't want to be in the business, we'd love to have you in the business, but if you don't want to be in the business, please share it. And if you are in the business, don't be shy. Become one of the army of people that have benefited from these ideas. Become an army that we can tell everybody. That's what I do. That's why I do this. I want everybody to know. I would stand on the roof of this building and tell all of Dallas, everybody to know, you don't have to be sick. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to be a slave to pharmacy, to doctors, to the medical model. You can bust through your belief systems and you can achieve the most incredible joie de vivre, joy for life and happiness at 120 to 140 years. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate everything.